Old man here for another recap. Look at my face. You can't tell how I feel. Now you know how I feel. Blue Jays win. Sweep the series. 20 runs. Oh my head. Old man can't handle this. And early on, old man knew that Kevin Gausman was struggling a little bit to find the plate, to find the zone, to make sure that his pitches wouldn't hang, because we all know when Gausman pitches hang, good God. But we've got Freeland pitching, and we need some perspective, because the fact is, he is not a very good pitcher. In fact, many would argue the only reason he's on this team is because they need to fill out the roster. Look at those numbers. Kyle Freeland. Good Lord. He's tied for 108th in strikeouts. Very efficient. So, of course, naturally, Blue Jays take advantage early. And a lot of players did. Whether it was Bo Bichette, or Vlad Guerrero, or Davis Mustache Schneider. They were getting it done. And as an old man, I need that stimulus. Look at my veins. Look what courses through them. I bleed blue. God, I gotta take my medication. So naturally, it doesn't end. The Blue Jays keep on pouring it on. Nathan Lucas, I love this guy. I love watching him play. I love the way he strokes the ball. And Freeland is just getting lit up. It's the fifth inning, and the tide is turning, and the Blue Jays are looking like they have the entire series. Merciless Blue Jays. You know, Blue Jays decapitate other birds, and I'll talk about that later. Naturally, Heineman gets some cycles, as they say, and delivers with aplomb. Look at that, the Phoenix rising. The old man loves when the Phoenix rises once every year. It seems like they're just pouring it on. I mean, at this point, Davis Schneider gets one in the wheelhouse, and it's obvious to anyone watching, especially Colorado fans, that this will not end well. There will be blood. Look where the Rockies are. This is a tragically horrible team. They're just tragic. I want Blue Jays fans to keep that in perspective. We basically annihilated a complete and utter bottom feeder. Ty France getting an opportunity to be in the lineup, and that's important. Blue Jays need his versatility, both defensively and when he can chip in like this in the National League where the air is thin. Look at that. My producer is telling me that is the eye of the Blue Jay. Very eerie. I will not sleep tonight without medication. Addison Barger got some cycles. He gets involved, and suddenly the Blue Jays are up 9-1, sixth inning. Old man's getting tired. I can't stay up for these late games, even though this was an early start. And it's time zone. Vladdy Guerrero starting to show that the Kraken has awakened. And when someone hits a home run, you know it's definitely him. God bless him and his histrionics. And I don't know what that was. That was an interesting two-step, quick little, I don't know what he's doing. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But the gunshots can be heard through the gloves. I don't know what that means. Does that mean the Blue Jays have basically shot the gloves off of Colorado, or is the way they're playing something truly special? Hi, Grandpa. I think that sign was meant for me. I'm old. Nathan Lucas still gets involved somehow because the Colorado Rockies have 30 wins this year. They're not a good baseball team. There are no fundamentals in Colorado. But what the Blue Jays are having is a field day. You know, they needed this after two tough series. That's my previous jersey that I wore after I beat a man nearly to death. And then over here in the ninth inning, this is where things I felt as the old man and being cranky and cantankerous. I didn't like it. I felt the Blue Jays kind of didn't have to keep the pedal on the metal. For starters, you're absolutely beating up on a team that you've handled. I mean, look where they're sitting in the standings. The Blue Jays are ruthless right now. They're ruthless. They want to continue this second half in strong, positive fashion, but I mean, this is tough to watch. And the biggest reason is because they're getting balls thrown at them by their backup catcher. I couldn't make this stuff up. You've got Austin Nola in there. Those are his numbers because he's a hitter. He does not pitch. So naturally, you'd think the Blue Jays would take it easy. But no, in a season where statistics are important, especially for free agent considerations, they just kept going. Davis Schneider, ruthless, ends up hitting a powder puff ball thrown to him by a guy who probably last pitched when he was at his niece's party 15 years ago. I don't know what's happening, but the Blue Jays, they kept pouring it on. They kept pouring it on. You gotta love the box score. Look at that. You could spend an hour. Old man loves doing that. I love reading these stats. I'm all about the stats. And so here we go. We're at 19-1, and you're thinking this has got to be game over. No, it's not, because Ernie Clement wants to solidify the legacy that he has this season, which is a guy who won't stop hitting and getting it done. Blue Jays are just, I don't even know what to say. As the old man and as somebody who's followed them for decades, I can tell you, this team is doing magical things, special things. I believe they set a major league record with 63 hits in a 3-game series. I mean, they're shattering modern-day records. Why? Because teams of destiny usually do that. And the old man has to admit, amongst all the fanfare, to keep things in context, the truth is, this Blue Jays team is something very, very special. So don't forget to follow the old man. I will continue to bleed blue. Like and subscribe, and I'll bring you more recaps in the days to come. For now, know your way home.